Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Denise Speidel. While it takes some special training, the coordinator of this project says it doesn't matter how it's happening, just that it is. It's a hugely popular activity out here. This deal won't be official until the city council approves it. Kim and Dana, coming up later in the show, I'll show you what that is.
Oh,
looking forward to it. I know.
What a pretty picture on this Wednesday. Wasn't that gorgeous? Yes. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Denise Speidel filling in for my wife, who still has no voice.
Here's what happened. I'm Ursula. She's Ariel. I stole her voice for all the power.
Anybody with children knows exactly what you're talking about. Others are going, what?
Dana is waking up with glazed eyes from watching basketball all day yesterday, and that's exactly what he's doing again today.
Yeah, I think you could say, well, it's been widely studied. Nobody really knows a cure for March Madness other than being planted on the couch.
Absolutely right. So Denise Speidel, a little girl power this morning. She's going to sit in for Dana.
Good morning, I'm Denise Speidel, live out at Tenaya Creek Brewery in a parking lot that became a murder scene overnight. Coming up in a live report, we'll have the latest information on the Valley's latest homicide.
News 3's Denise Speidel joins us live from the Tenaya Creek Brewery. That's near Cheyenne and Tenaya. And Denise, police are not giving us a ton of information here.
That's right, Kim. In fact, the most that we do know right now came from the Clark County Coroner's Office, who has confirmed with us that the man found dead here at about 11:30 last night is 22-year-old Michael Portero. Portero is a former standout athlete at Faith Lutheran High School and the brother of current Faith Lutheran quarterback Joe Portero. Now, Metro Police say they are looking to surveillance video from Tenaya Creek Brewery, hoping they will get some views of this parking lot where Portero was found, perhaps a possible vehicle description or indication of where Portero came from. Coming up, we'll talk about why these midterms just feel so unpredictable.
It's expected to be a very close race for U.S. Senate.
Right now, numbers show Republican challenger Sharron Angle with a slight lead over Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. Our Denise Speidel live from the newsroom this morning. And Denise, this is the race where everyone can say their vote truly will count.
Yes, Kim, even if they don't vote. And that is actually the major fear facing incumbent Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. They are simply afraid that voters will just sit this one out and let Sharron Angle pass them by. And then in the governor's race, it seems that Harry Reid's son, Democratic candidate Roy Reid, may fall to Republican Brian Sandoval, who currently shows a pretty significant lead. And then that other contentious race, Representative Dina Titus is trailing behind Republican challenger Dr. Joe Heck. And while the Titus campaign has tried to tie him into that extreme rhetoric campaign that's been leveraged against Angle, Heck just hasn't proven to be the polarizing figure that Sharron Angle is, and there has just been a lot of bloodletting among independents. Kim, it's really the Senate race that remains hugely up in the air and really depends on which group ends up showing up in droves at the polls.
Yeah, and Denise, you making national news because you are having to run alongside Sharron Angle at the airport. Anything that you'd like to talk about that this morning as far as any misinformation that was thrown out there?
You know, as a member of the media, I always just like to say I prefer to run in my running shoes, not my stilettos. It's our job as the media to try and get questions answered. We're not trying to accomplish any one agenda or the other, but if there's a silver lining out of this, I got a text from my little brother. I'm now very cool among the college crowd for ending up on the Colbert Report.
Denise Speidel, thank you very much for that.
Baby Zoe is just about a month old, but she's already endured the rigors of chemotherapy. It began last April when Candace was 15 weeks pregnant.
I had actually felt a little lump on my breast just before I came in for my OB appointment.
This was breast cancer, and up until a decade ago, doctors often urged women to wait until birth to begin treatment or consider an abortion. But researchers then offered evidence now commonly practiced among doctors like perinatologist Van Bowman. After 12 weeks, a fetus can handle chemo.
The best way to look at chemotherapy is it's poison, and the cancer cells are more susceptible to those poisons than normal cells. The baby has normal cells.
Oncologist Dr. Mary Ann Allison treats many younger women with breast cancer and says moms do better in battle.
As far as handling the chemo, my pregnant ladies usually do better. I know they do better on their blood counts because their bone marrows are really in good shape.
All that bone marrow and blood is because of the baby, but it may also help beat the cancer. A brand new study states
After 5 years, 74% of women diagnosed during pregnancy were still alive, compared to 56% not pregnant at the time. Candace will continue her fight for the next year, flanked by her husband and now 3 kids. She may be lucky on 2 fronts. She was pregnant, but mainly she found the lump and followed up right away.
If you feel something, even if you think it's nothing, like I did, I thought it was nothing, you should definitely follow up.
Yeah, don't let it go, because the key to cure is early.
Denise Speidel, News 3. According to Lieutenant Todd Fasullo, there should not be a wrong side of Fremont Street.
Fremont Street is a tourist destination, whether you go east of Las Vegas Boulevard or you're up underneath the canopy for the west end of Fremont Street.
Except what's under that canopy offers a lot more tourist protection.
Fremont Street West benefits from hotel monitoring and patrolling security officers, but police say it's Fremont Street east of the boulevard that still remains unsafe.
So that's going to be our crime-free corridor.
The crime-free corridor is a new downtown initiative.
And there's 2 things that we're going to address. One is the crime issues that occur on the east side of Las Vegas Boulevard on Fremont down to about 15th Street, and then a block to the north and a block to the south.
Metro Police will be cracking down on drugs, gang activity, prostitution, and street-level robberies, crimes that often happen in the alleys leading a block off Fremont East. But Metro must also recruit the help of the businesses that line the street. They're currently meeting with the downtown business owners who may know exactly where these criminals are.
So if they're harboring criminals inside their businesses, such as the daily weeklies or the motels or the hotels, and they're not addressing those issues, it ultimately, in the long run, can affect their business.
Instead, Fasullo wants to improve their business.
The east part of Fremont Street needs to be revitalized.
Not by running criminals out, but by putting them away.
So the goal is to go in and attempt to put our real hardened criminals in jail so that they stay there. When we can create an environment for a family to walk up and down Fremont Street at any time of the day and to go to a neighborhood park with their kids, walk to and from school without the fear of any type of crime occurring, then we've accomplished what our goal is. So from my perspective, that's what the goal should be.
This is a new initiative, just about 30 days old. So far, Metro Police have met with downtown business owners once and have another meeting planned for next week. For Crime Tracker 3, I'm Denise Speidel.